Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Tennessee Virtual College Fair. We have a great line of presentations for you this evening. And thanks so much for joining us. I just have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You will be able to use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. So don't be shy to do that. Just as a reminder, your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many sessions being offered, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website that you registered. So now I would like to turn it over to our presenters. First up tonight is the University of Arkansas.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I'm gonna get this screen pulled up for you so you can see my presentation. I'm gonna kind of fly through this since our time is limited. So I'm here representing the University of Arkansas. My name is Megan Garland and I'm your admissions counselor. If you're unfamiliar with the University of Arkansas, we are located over in Fayetteville, which is in the northwest corner of the state. A pretty surprising fact is Fayetteville, Arkansas is the #4 place to live in the entire United States. And so there is a lot to do in the area, lots of great shopping and restaurants and boutiques and all kinds of things. Our historic downtown square butts up right against campus, and actually that main street of our downtown runs through our campus. So it's a vibrant, quintessential college town with a lot of resources. One of the reasons there are so many resources is because a little teeny tiny company called Walmart was started in the area. So over in Bentonville, which is about 45 minutes from our campus, that's where Walmart headquarters is, and we're really grateful that Walmart is in the area. They're providing a lot of experiences for our students because they actually require that every retailer they work with have an office in the Northwest Arkansas area. Now, what that's going to mean for you as a student is there are over 325 Fortune 500 companies and over 4,000 businesses within a 45-minute drive of campus. That's a lot of internship opportunities, job shadowing opportunities. They will host job fairs on campus. They will come and bring distinguished speakers. There's only one city in the world that matches our density of Fortune 500 companies. That city is New York City. So for you to be able to come over to Northwest Arkansas, be in the middle of the Ozark Mountains with the Buffalo National River, Devil's Den State Park, Beaver Lake, all right there, and have the same opportunities you would have in NYC, I think is one of the most unique things about our university. Now, while there's a lot going on in the area, there's also a lot going on our campus. So there are over 400 registered student organizations. Those are going to range. There's a vast variety of types of organizations that you can get involved in. So things like pre-professional societies, political, cultural organizations. Probably my favorite organization on campus is called Tour de Nugget. And so it's a group of students started that organization. And basically, students will just carpool around town to all of the various restaurants that serve chicken nuggets. And then they will bracket style, rank them, and then have a winner at the end of the semester. So that's always a fun one. But not only getting involved on our campus, you can also really get involved academically. While we have 200 programs, about 100 of those are undergraduate majors. Some of the highlights of our programs include our Walton College of Business, which is in the top 30 business schools in the country. Our Eleanor Mann School of Nursing has a 100% job placement rate after graduation. And then we do have a nationally ranked engineering school that offers 12 different disciplines of engineering. Now, while we are a large state school, we do try to keep those class sizes as small as possible. We maintain an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and you can expect your classes to be no more than 30 students on average for most of your classes. So as I mentioned, we are a large school. We're a D1 SEC school. Our enrollment there was just under 28,000 students. And you can see there a picture of our football team. We love our Hogs, win or lose. We love to come out and call the Razorbacks and come out in our red and white. It's a really fun tradition. A really big part of our campus culture is calling those Hogs. I'm really jealous of students. You all would get to take part in an all-inclusive student athletic pass. So you get into every single home game for every sport for the entire year, and it's just $85, which pays for itself in 2 football games. Now, if you want to go and have a world-class experience in another country, we are in the top 5 study abroad programs in the country with about 1,300 different options in about 57 different countries. And so it really is choose your own adventure when it comes to studying abroad on our campus. Now, I want to make sure you all understand that we want it to be affordable for you to be able to come out of state. And I know that can be a challenge. So we offer what's called the non-resident tuition award. This is specific to states that border us, Tennessee included. And so it's essentially offered at a 70, 80, and 90% award. It's going to be a certain percentage discount off of that additional out-of-state portion of tuition. You can see the GPA requirements listed for each one of these qualifications. These are specific to our fall 2021 applicants, so keep that in mind. If you are a junior or maybe a little younger, there will be a matching test score that you need to have in order to qualify, but you can learn more about that on our website. It's just NRTA. If you Google that, it should pop up with more information for you on that. Now, just some nuts and bolts about the admissions process. There's my contact information. Be sure to write that down. I'm here to help throughout the process. So call, text, email me whenever you need. Our application is currently open for seniors, and that priority deadline will be November 15th with a priority scholarship deadline of December 1st. If you have any questions, please let me know. Drop them there in the Q&A. Otherwise, I hope you have a great night and go Hogs.
Thank you so much, Megan. And don't forget, as Megan mentioned, to put those questions in the chat to any of our presenters anytime through this evening. Next up, you're going to hear from Auburn University.
Hey everyone. So I feel like I might be having trouble with my internet. Hopefully not though, but we will share my screen and situate us at least geographically first. So you can see that we are in East Central Alabama. We are about a 5-hour drive away from Nashville, just as a frame of reference. We're also about 2 hours south of Birmingham in one direction, Atlanta in the other, and about 3.5 hours north of the coastline. So for a lot of folks, that's a really nice triangle to be in the middle of. Auburn itself is about 70,000 residents, so fairly small community compared to the size of the school, which is about 30,000 students. And this blurb here is basically saying people want to come to school here, they want to raise their families here, they want to retire here. So it's just a special place that a lot of people want to be a part of. I also want to show you this picture to give you as best of a view as I can of campus, given that we're not there right now. So let's just pretend that we're both standing on the top of the tallest building on campus, which is the Haley Center. And so we are getting an eagle eye view of campus from the Eagle's Nest. So I really want to give you an idea that campus is very walking friendly, very green, very family oriented. So again, we've got 30,000 students total. We're a big school with close to 600 student organizations, over 150 majors, but I think you'll find that Auburn, the community as well as the university, may be surprisingly small in terms of where it matters, like class sizes, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, or just walking to and from. So I know all these buildings look the same. I'm not going to quiz you, but just know that you're looking at things like housing options and academic buildings, and even this building behind me that's called Sanford Hall, that is pictured kind of right in the middle there, and it is definitely an iconic building that kind of leads you from the main campus to the historic part of campus to the downtown area. So definitely a close connection between both the campus as well as the community. Now I want to talk about two topics, knowing that there's a lot to talk about Auburn. But the first thing I want to talk about is land grants. If you're not familiar, we are a land grant institution, which essentially means that we were founded in the early 1800s based on this federal government act that was passed to basically give each state a piece of land to build a college on so that they could then educate the citizens of the state. So prior to that, for like 200 years, college education was just for the most elite. Young, rich, white men. And this act kind of opened the door a little bit more for folks that may have come from maybe a more rural background. And so those majors that we focused on in terms of educating the citizens of the state of Alabama were things like the College of Agriculture and College of Engineering. So those agricultural mechanical based, which is why I show you this picture in the top left-hand corner of Comer Hall. The only difference there is now there are cars where there used to be cows. Bottom left corner shows you kind of a before and after, if you will, of our downtown area. And just know that everything we do at Auburn is grounded upon this land grant mission of serving the state of Alabama through practical and hands-on research and experience. Two examples of a modern day application of that our 20 Came Home initiative within the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction. And that's what that top right picture is showing. Essentially, students will design and build homes that are less than $20,000 for the part of the state of Alabama, West Alabama, which is an underserved part of the state. So the idea is everyone, regardless of their background, socioeconomic status, anything like that, deserves to benefit from good design. We also have a wonderful cybersecurity research center. We've partnered with FAA, FBI, Armed Forces, NSA, and this is all about keeping each other safe as individuals and as a nation, given that we do share so much of ourselves online. So this is a really practical application of our mission. I also want to talk about some expecting the unexpected things. So oftentimes the entry point for folks at Auburn, under top-ranked programs in the state of Alabama, top 30 nationwide, so the return on investment is certainly there with those programs, but so much more. And so maybe your entry point could be something else, like our fashion merchandising program, one of the best in the country. I'm seeing that my internet connection's unstable, so hopefully I am back. But things like the fashion merchandising program, one of the best. We've also got a culinary science program, which is unique to a school like Auburn being a four-year school. And we've got a brand new building that's being built that will be both a boutique hotel as well as a culinary science center for those students. So definitely everything that our hospitality management program needs and then some. We're also a hub for performing arts in the state of Alabama with a new performing arts center, and that's in the bottom left corner. We also, like I mentioned earlier, have surprisingly small classes, 40 or fewer for the most part, and your student to faculty ratio is 20:1. So where it matters, we try to keep everything as small as possible without still providing you with the benefits of such a big school. And then the biggest picture on this slide is for our EAGLES program. It's an acronym that's essentially getting at, this program is a fully transitional program for students with learning and intellectual disabilities. So these students would not otherwise be able to get a college degree, and now they can. And so we just graduated our first class, and this is great for those students as well as our future K through 12 special educators as well. Now, with the time that I have remaining, I just want to hit briefly on our application process. So for you seniors, you'll either apply through our website or through the Common App. You'll submit your transcript, so we'll look at your core GPA and your cumulative GPA, among other things. And our middle 50% range is listed there. And this year, we're test flexible. So if you've got a test score that falls within these ranges, I think that would be a competitive score for admission. If not, no preference for test scores for admissions or scholarship purposes. So you could pick that, or a graded writing assignment, an expanded resume, or even AP or IB score reports. And so the last thing I want to hit on are dates and deadlines. Also super flexible, but I think the biggest thing for you all to know is that if you want to be able to apply for scholarships by its February 1st deadline, you have to be accepted first. So you really need to apply for admission during an early action round. We have two more coming up, October 15th, which is just 3 days from now, or December 1st. We got other rounds, but I think that's what's most important, knowing that you got to be accepted first. So with that, that's my contact information, but I know I'm running out of time. So if you need me, just drop me a line in the chat and we'll go from there. Thanks so much, everybody.
Katie, even though you mentioned that you had an unstable connection, you were all good. So
excellent.
So next up, you guys are going to hear from Bellarmine University.
Hello and good evening, Middle Tennessee. My name is Dia Garcia, and I just want to say welcome and thank you for taking some time to speak with us this evening. At Bellarmine, no matter who you are welcome, and we give hospitality, which represents the pineapple that you'll see on most of our branding and on our campus. Again, my name is Dia. I represent Middle Tennessee. I am located in the Nashville area, so please feel free to reach out to me. I love to chat with students and parents. There are many reasons that students do thrive at Bellarmine University, and I am going to talk specifically about 4 guarantees that we offer. Just as an overview, we are located in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's essentially the best of both worlds because we have a small campus and community, but we're located in a large metropolitan area. Our undergraduate population is about 2,500 students, and our total population is near 4,000. We have a campus of about 175 acres, and that's going to include 50 buildings. Our average class size is going to be no more than 20 students, and the student to faculty ratio is just 12 students to 1 professor. So our first guarantee is related to graduation. We do guarantee that a student will graduate in just 4 years, or that 5th year is going to be on us. We can make this guarantee because of the commitment that we have with our faculty and staff for our students. Our second guarantee is related to the study abroad experience. We have nearly 200 different programs in 68 different partner sites. Study abroad is an excellent opportunity for students to expand their horizon and their diversity. Here is a picture of our Louisville skyline, which is representative of the connection that we have with the Louisville community. And it also represents our third guarantee, which is related to the ability to develop an internship, to develop a career plan, and to build a professional network. We have an excellent statistic for our first destination, and I would encourage you to compare ours with other institutions you are applying for, because ours is at 99%. And that means that 99% of our students, just 6 months after graduation, are either working full-time or they are enrolled in graduate school. So as I mentioned, that's something we are really excited about, because one of the main reasons that we pursue higher education is so that we're able to make positive contributions to society. Also, the average starting salary of a Bellarmine graduate is $50,000. As you can see from this image, our Bellarmine Knights definitely have spirit. This past summer, we actually just transitioned to Division I sports, and we are part of the ASUN conference. So we're really excited to be on that new competitive level. There are lots of other ways and opportunities for students to be involved at Bellarmine. We have over 75 different organizations for students to choose from, and that's going to include religious societies, student government association, leadership opportunities, civic groups, basically whatever you want to be involved in, you definitely have that option. For our seniors, you can apply right now. You can apply on the Common App or directly on our website at bellarmine.edu/apply now. Our application is free, so I at least encourage you to apply. The only required materials are going to be the transcript and the letter of recommendation. You'll hear from multiple institutions that they are test optional due to the pandemic, but we are actually test optional from now and on to the future. We understand that test scores are not always an indicator of college success, so you as a student get to decide if you want to submit those scores to us. If you don't, your application will be reviewed with your transcript and that letter of recommendation. And we are affordable because we invest in our students, which brings us to our fourth guarantee. And that is that 100% of our admitted students do receive scholarships. Our average institutional award is going to be $30,000 with the average comprehensive package of $39,000. The total cost of attendance at Bellarmine is a little under $53,000, and we're really excited for this new opportunity with the public price promise. And this is for every student that has a 3.6 unweighted GPA. We will charge you no more than the flagship institution of your state, which for the state of Tennessee is the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Their cost of attendance is similar to the one that you see on your screen for the University of Kentucky. The University of Tennessee, Knoxville has a price of $26,844. So we're going to scratch our total cost of attendance and charge you no more than that flagship of your state. Here are some important dates and deadlines as it relates to your application. As you all probably know, October 1, the FAFSA did become available, and we just encourage you to apply before November 15th. That's all for Bellarmine University. And my final question to you is, are you Bellarmine bound? And I hope that you are. Go Knights!
Dia, thank you so much. Our next presentation will be from Johnson & Wales University.
All right. Hopefully I'm sharing my screen now. Let's see. I got it?
Yep, it's up.
Yay, there we go. Okay, great. Well, hello, my name is Paul Carney. I'm an admissions representative with Johnson & Wales University. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I have 6 states in my territory, including Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And I travel around both states. I have been with Johnson & Wales for almost 4 years now, and I am currently in my 25th year working in college admissions. So I've been doing this for quite a long time now, and I want to tell you a little bit about Johnson & Wales. We have 2 campuses. Our main campus is in Providence, Rhode Island, which is the state capital of Rhode Island. It's about 40 miles from Boston and about 20 miles from Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the New England Patriots play. Providence is a medium-sized city, probably similar in size to Knoxville or Chattanooga. It's about 500,000 people. And we also have a campus in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hopefully I can make this happen here. And Charlotte is larger. It's more similar in size to Nashville, maybe a little smaller than Nashville. Nashville has really grown tremendously. Our campus in Providence, Rhode Island has about 10,000 students, and our campus in Charlotte has about 2,200 students. And we offer about 50 undergraduate majors from 6 different undergraduate colleges, including our College of Arts and Sciences, business, health and wellness, nutrition, culinary arts, design and engineering, and hospitality. We are probably most well known for our College of Culinary Arts. We have one of the best programs in the world. Several of our alumni include Emerald Lagasse and Tyler Florence of the Food Network. Our campus in Charlotte is near several of the financial institutions. Charlotte is the 2nd largest financial center in the United States, Bank of America being the largest with their world headquarters in Charlotte. A lot of our business majors do internships with Bank of America. And a lot of our sports management students will also do internships with the Carolina Panthers or the New England Patriots. So lots of opportunities there. And we do encourage students to do internships. We have study abroad programs. These are some pictures of our students at different locations around the globe. We have programs on 5 continents around the globe. And I believe there's about between 70 and 80 different programs. So we definitely encourage you to do that if you can. We have about 150 different student organizations, everything from major related clubs, including a broadcasting club. We have fashion, merchandising, and design as a major. So we've got an international fashion society. We have a lot of fun things that people like to do. Anime and gaming, a ski club, a dance team, you know, lots of different things to get active in. We compete in the Division III in the NCAA, and these are some of the championships our teams have won over the last few years. We have even recently had our first national champions in sport, in men's wrestling and also women's basketball. We have dormitories on our campuses. We do require freshmen and sophomores to live on campus. And the food service on campus is fantastic because a lot of our student workers in the dining halls are culinary arts majors. They are aspiring chefs. A lot of them hope to be on the Food Network in the near future. And the food service in our dining halls is fantastic, world class. You will absolutely love it. To begin this process, you need to apply for admission, and you can apply on our website, or if you have the Common App, we accept that as well. We are one of 700 member institutions on the Common App. We do not charge an application fee. It's completely free. Also, we are test optional, which means we do not require the ACT or the SAT for admission. However, if you have those and you want to submit them, you can. We offer about 91% of our students receive institutional grants and or scholarships from Johnson & Wales. We do all that we can to make a private education affordable. And we do encourage everybody to complete the FAFSA. If you're interested, if you're involved in any of these student organizations in high school, we do have a lot of scholarship opportunities for that. We also have collegiate versions of these clubs as well. And a lot of our students who are in FCCLA or FBLA or HOSA like to continue with that while they're in college. So there are opportunities for that as well. We are on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We post information every day about events going on our campuses. So that's a great way to keep up with us. And then finally, here is my contact information. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. And our final presentation tonight is Arcadia University.
Well, hello, everyone. Let me just get my screen all up and sharing. All right. So my name is Michaela Mitchell. I'm with Arcadia University, and I work with Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, Northern New Jersey, as well as the New York as well. And what you're seeing on your screen is our infamous Gray Towers Castle, where we have one of our dormitory options on the 3rd floor, as well as great, beautiful, picturesque spaces to use, including our mirror room and our rose room, which are modeled after French decor. So just a little bit about who we are. We're probably one of the more northern colleges here today. So we are in Glenside, Pennsylvania, which is right outside of Philadelphia. We have great access to the city, so students can take the bus or the train system into the city. The buses is right outside of campus. The train station is about a 10-minute walk from campus. So you get that best of both worlds with nice suburban feel, with the access to the city and all the options that Philadelphia has. We are a smaller university with about a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Students' class sizes are averaged about 14, but the largest thing you'll probably see is about 25 in your freshman seminar or Bio 101, those very base level classes. And we are a private, small liberal arts institution. So we have over 65 fields of study, but that doesn't mean that you can't take a chance and explore all the different options that we have here. Students regularly major and minor, or double major, or major and double minor, because we have so much flexibility within our schedule, and we really want to make this an experience for students, by students. So just moving a little bit forward, we have 26 Division III teams. We just added track and field, as well as esports. And our newest one coming next fall is, oh goodness, blanked, ice hockey, my bad. So those are lots of different options that you can use with our new enhanced Cook Center that's been renovated. So we have an Olympic-sized swimming pool and all different types of things for you to kind of work out and practice for those things. However, if you don't want to compete on the college level or you haven't been recruited, we do have over 60 clubs and organizations, everything from clubs that are centered around your major, to special interest clubs, to performing art clubs, and even different activity clubs. So Ultimate Frisbee, we also have our Latin dance team, Puerto Remo, and we even have intramurals. So if you still want to play a sport, but just don't want to take the time to compete, you can definitely do that. And for all of my students here, we are guaranteed housing for all 4 years, so you don't have to worry about being pushed off of campus. We have several different housing options, so traditional housing, you and one other roommate, bathrooms on either side of the floor. We do have suite style and apartment style for our upperclassmen as well. So different options that can suit all of our students, and and what they need. So study abroad and experiential learning is such a huge thing at Arcadia. Not only are more than half of our programs require some form of internship or research opportunity, but quite a few of them require that you do require that you do study abroad or have the option for you to go study abroad. I would say about more than 90% of our students can have a chance to go abroad if they would like to. We have programs that can be as short as a week, as long as a full year, depending on your major. We have internship and research opportunities abroad. One of my favorite internship options is we've had students go in the past to Australia and work on reality television sets, and had pre-law students go and work with Parliament during Brexit in London, and even just have students go in their first year abroad in a way to London in our London Center. We have 6 centers across the globe that are Arcadia centers that support our study abroad learning as well. And over 80% of our students put a stamp on that passport on Arcadia's account right before they get a chance to leave. So it's a really great opportunity for students to do. And on top of that, your financial aid and scholarships goes along with you when you go abroad. So what you're paying on campus is the same thing that you're going to pay when you go abroad. So just to do a quick recap of our admissions process, we are now test optional. So students just need to submit one application. They can either use the Common App or Arcadia application, your high school transcript, and a letter of recommendation. We do have test optional options for you to submit. You can look at that on arcadia.edu/test optional. But I always recommend submitting a resume, supplemental materials, and various different things of that nature. And of course, if you're interested in any of our BFA programs in acting, musical theater, or art, you will have to submit an additional piece. All right, and that is all I have. My contact information is on this slide. Feel free to write it down, jot it down. And one of my favorite things is to talk to students. So my cell number is good for text and calls. And thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Michaela. You guys were so lucky tonight to get to hear from 5 admissions professionals. I'm sure that you knew that you had your school counselors to help you. You had your family to help you, but I bet you didn't realize that you had all of these professionals on your side as well. So tonight, I would like to invite them to give some of their best advice for high school seniors and parents going through the process. So let's start with Megan from the University of Arkansas. Megan, what would be your advice?
I think we just lost her.
It might have been her internet.
I think her and I are struggling.
Katie, how about you?
Sure, why not? While I'm here, I think I have 2 pieces of advice that feel really salient right now. I'm getting a lot of emails, understandably, that are saying things like, I'm getting mixed information online, and can you clarify? So I'll say 2 pieces of advice with that nugget. Don't ever be embarrassed to ask questions. That is what we're here for. Just in a normal world, because we're certainly not living in a normal world right now, but if we were, it would still be confusing. You know, it's just every school is a little bit different, just similar and just different enough to get confusing. I think that's partly why we have jobs. But I will also say trust the source. So if you are going on third-party websites like College Confidential, no disrespect, but we have no control over anything other than our institutional website. So that confusion could be coming from, if you're not, for example, looking at auburn.edu/admissions. So I just encourage you to trust the source and go to our website and then reach out to us specifically, because I would hate for you to trust something else that we have no control over and then miss really big deadlines, for example. So that's my thought. Reach out to us and trust the source of the information you're getting.
That's so important, Katie. Like, I heard from a friend's brother's grandfather that this is how this is going, and just
right.
Ask the true source. That's a great piece of advice. How about Dia? What would be your advice, Dia?
Well, thank you. And I just want to start by saying thank you to all the others presenters. And I would echo what's already been said. So if you all already didn't know, we are your resources. And one thing at Bellarmine is that a student is going to gain meaningful connections. They're going to have transformative experiences as well as successful outcomes. I would encourage students to think about the career that they want after pursuing a 4-year degree, because you are going to work in a career and not necessarily a major. So go ahead and have those connections as far as the university is concerned, but also as far as the career is concerned, so that you will have successful outcomes. And again, as it's already been mentioned, we are resources. This is our full-time job, and we love answering questions and connecting with students and families. So remember to reach out to us.
Dia, so true. Those connections could be your next job, right? Paul, how about from Johnson and Wales? What advice would you give?
I would advise anyone considering going to college to try to visit as many colleges as you can. I have worked in college admissions a long time. I travel a lot for work. I've had the good fortune of visiting a lot of colleges and universities over the years. They're all very different from one another, different locations, different missions, different majors, different sizes, different, rural, urban, suburban. And everybody is different. Everybody feels more comfortable at some place over another place. So try to visit if you can, because you'll get that gut instinct of whether or not you really feel like this is the place for me. This is really where I want to spend the next 4 years of my college education.
Great advice. And right now, there are some schools, of course, that are offering visits and some schools that aren't. And so take advantage of whatever visit is options are there, whether it's a virtual visit or whether it's an in-person visit. And our final piece of advice, Mike Hella.
Yes. So one of the things that I always tell my students and parents and everything alike is that you definitely want to look into the opportunities that you have in high school, as far as like the clubs and organizations that you're interested in, and see if that matches along with the major that you're interested in at the colleges that you're looking at. Because at the end of the day, getting an education is so great and is an amazing opportunity, but you also want to enjoy your time there. And sometimes some of the easiest connections to make is through a common interest. And a lot of these students won't be in your classes or anything like that because they might have different majors than you will. And I know I have met a lot of long-term friends and everything else just by the fact that I knew I loved community service, and that's what I wanted to focus on a bit more in college. So definitely look at the opportunities you can, have fun outside of camp, outside of classes, but also look at the majors and opportunities you have that way as well.
Great advice. Easy way to make friends, for sure. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your time. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a quick 4-question survey, so we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. This was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as any other session recordings. Thanks so much and have a great night, everyone.